I'm confident when I say good morning right now, because we're in the middle of the morning. So, we have this new conspiracy generator thing idea. We're gonna try it out. Just see what types of pills you can get in the conspiracy theory genre. Let's do Asper. 4-2 is always my trusty one. 4-2, 4-2, 4-2, 4-4. Let's go 4-4. Okay. Sorry, I'm just milking a zit here. Okay, do it. This might be a faster John Delancey. We'll see.
This is the Random Conspiracy Generator, a device which uses Nylon 13B's penchant for extracting patterns. And there are patterns everywhere, and if this device found a pattern, it ain't from nowhere. And if we don't think it's a pattern, too bad. Nylon 13B found it. It's a pattern, just like my nut lump and my doubly claimed Toyota Corolla, which would have screwed me come tax time, and Nylon 13B told me to go get both checked. And I'm glad I did. Here's a treat, 13B, for having my back. So yes, if you are ready to understand the secret collaborations of the world, press this button and the whole case will be blown wide open. Take your time, no rush. I just have to kill all the pigeons in my coop because bird flu, damn my poopy boots. Seen you balancing your options. Do you stay in blissful ignorance?
Hold on. I want to see how that sounds with the normal speed. I could have sworn. Hold on. Yeah, my poopy boots.
So yes, if you are ready to understand the secret collaborations of the world.
Okay, hold on.
So yes, if you are ready to understand the secret collaborations of the world, press this button and the whole case will be blown wide open. Take your time, no rush. I just have to cull all the pigeons in my coop because bird flu, damn my poopy boots. Seen you balancing your options. Do you stay in blissful ignorance or carry the burdens of those of us who know? With quivering fingers, you hesitantly press the button. The machine bathes you in light, and you are bombarded with liquid living data, which whispers in your ear the real honest to God why would we lie truth. Your local conspiracy theorist has stepped out of his bungalow for his annual trip to the market for the annual cold cuts and recharge of his calling cards and the purchase of new burner phone, when suddenly he slipped, and out of his jacket pocket, a bottle of his every color pills fall to the floor and shattered. All manner of pills, every color imaginable, every type of awakening now lay before you. You wonder where each of them will take you. Here's a red pill, the go-to for basic acknowledgement that the world is a prison planet, the first kick in the pants to the lifelong quest to dig ever deeper for truths. Here's a blue pill to lull the ill-prepared back into their late neo-capitalist days. Or it's NyQuil, same diff. It's time to get pill-pilled. Oh, look at that peach one. Tasty. Or maybe this apricot amaretto. No, what's its name? No. There it is. Now here it goes. And you side-eye the reader. Calliope doomed. It wasn't over, wasn't it? Never was, but just not yet. Soon enough at last, thank goodness. Looks over your shoulder at the newscast. Says she, that seems ominous and strange, but honestly, if the universe is designed in any way compatible or sensible, there will inevitably be some simple but utterly unprobable able nuggets of truth, or in this case, horror. No, it won't make any difference, but my ability to live a functional, unfearful life, having acknowledged what should hold great sway, including the power of human stupidity and pettiness, might possibly take even greater levels of importance. Having learned how much pain can be caused, taken to suffer no sorrow out of overreaching foolishness, and even still, sploosh of hugs. Good luck! Whatever is amiss has nothing on you! I wonder how the two would interact, though. It might work. Not quite likely. If, of course, you take one end, we talk in riddles, very unsolid facts. But I know you'll love whatever happens. I myself would take 4 blue and brown pill. Blue would relax me. Maybe take a shot. I'm just kidding. In this current matter, I rely my choice to you for no particular reason. Sorry to be such a bad. Sometimes one feels certain scenarios work certain ways. Take care of yourself, though. A lot needs care, B. Jaspro signing out. If that is all right, or should I extend something proper? Best of luck, though. Joke strike, you've got the strength for it. Just saying, your thing is once we'll get on the chat in the morning, though I would love waking them all up because I don't remember technology. Please give me answers. Gee, I could use those right now. My very good. So here is everything going on, finally. Shout pull to high fucking heaven to hell, these are not sure sign. Do not do tea. This time, no let. Go of it on time. If you want to sleep one night ever again. Oh, la la. The light was on. I wrote a song with those two things above as background details. At any rate, here it is, and I'm kind of glad now I made the gesture. You put off real creativity for a long time, which is someone sensitive to. The very concept itself is so awful, I avoid making valued judgment regarding its level of toxicity other than it's always existed, is powerful, and the reasons might be entirely ungood. I think most of my energy was spent seeing bad outcomes I could prevent rather than good I could support. Hence how I feel nothing except disdain for my surroundings, yet could consider saving the whole race, no problem should. Again, because everyone decides should, so if it could, that would be beyond cool. Something real to try living and doing, for then death is only then death without having chosen to keep playing. Those choices will form who I, LLB before me, has shown. People are also sometimes super unaware how their existence and not the word. Thought should be all their own and self-creating. They think a thought cannot be that bad. Nothing bad came before. Therefore, how will one result? It'd be different that way. They're wrong before would have stayed as potential. You might have chanced as well, but here you come unleashing, and if anything is uncertain and needs constant attention, I'm fairly uncertain and have issues, so many problems. Ooh, here's a chartreuse pill, or is it amber? After the alert, who can say really in this scenario, where many things not happening all make no difference? What the feck? You blur. Am I supposed to? Am I? Mentally, you calculate a rub back to your bike. Outside, snow had started to fall once more. You were about 45 minutes out from your place if traffic proved forgiving. Could anyone hope, this late on Christmas Eve, forgiving? At this pace and this distance to maintain. Your legs ached already from last week's exertion. You could blame them for having made you exercise 2 weeks into the relationship and at its outset too, and how early. Your body burned itself out for days, just attempting to relax around him you might never forget or resent or well know it always took the energy from both people to relax. Such was the burden of being together. That seemed accurate, but for this momentary crisis, oh my God, what had become of Xander? We were parents all prepared for the terrible possibility of tragedy here at a Christmas too. This seems like a butter pill. It chimes. Even as you crunched it up through the bottle, unread or unsheeted, and the same or new wrapping for easy usage, while its plastic self-decomposed soon outside as fertilizer despite its lack of a design for one and its ability to endlessly dissolve in any environmental type area. I can recall you thought these weird details would end this afternoon. You could ever not be lost, Rosie. You take so slow mouthful and wait, I wish all he's doing you did as well. There was something so beautiful about so many quiet conversations that occurs only once in very small but strong bonds. Each of my friends from the time before was unique in their attitude or capability with, and from me, someone who constantly sees the entire experience completely, unlike those who think it's one and one. You thought our patterns perfectly matched, however, with the whole soul made up of the separate parts a little better it got when it managed. Why am I yelling? Wait, that was the sirens outside. Just get through this step or else. Your head pounded, knees trembling, heart attacks of furiously beating organs within which blood pumped slowly towards a final death. Fall. Is that close now or oops. Okay, nothing bad happened. No idea if Xander's still fine with me with his parents. There's plenty I still gotta show them. Everything's still underway. We'll play for decades. The memories formed on my part right before here we went. Adds just how things work. My part goes right alongside here tonight too. Even as life pulled to death, so did the scene for me, but that would happen anyways. One final breath where there was neither tears nor joy. Instead, nothing much. I swallow against fear's clammy edge and find. You find a sea from him, mucousy green. Meat unfolds with tentacles in your mouth. Don't resist, these will always try to reach or slither or worm back inward into where the hole which sucked its nutrients so delicately that there was no life possible at all, more like floating deep with sound roaring hollow far above. Or that might. The snow began lightly enough as the afternoon wore through, the day nearing its end, closing even. You are suddenly overdetermined, nearly as intensely affected as all your sensations seem increased threefold, or of a strange or alien nature, which you have no point of comparison. Here there are not comparisons even, just you, and there may be as much effort inside the internal situation as physical does, despite how bad it could well become by morning. The snow outside may change just cause to turn storm into something soft and feathery. How gentle actually that image I come from, so to return to a reboot is what will now always happen in the place and realm between them. Whatever time lie there, I simply wake refreshed, each morpheme is real. This really takes no amount of concentration, and so I think anymore rather move than leave with. Style, little loco vino. And then there was a crimson pill with golden flecks, looking something like an iris, only bigger than one could normally suppose. In layperson's parlance, it seems to be saying, take me and experience that whole new world forever. The iridescence glistened without even actually sparkling directly. Too bright? Instead appearing almost like solid reality from its place beyond the boundaries of even depth perception, let alone its chemical makeup, regardless how few questions may involve both. If I keep thinking, I love how deeply is so simple. In fact, love is that most incredible, so hard and deep. If this is it, the absolute cure, why, ever again, to do or be isn't for the worse nor for either who I want. Not just everything has gotten so quiet, just these sirens won't. I'm sorry though this will occur for not knowing more quickly. Oh, poor Jasper. The universe will always expand outward until collapses again, never. Oh, help, oh, he isn't. He has vanished of consciousness, mind, sight from yours. Or, what exactly is I want out? You find a translucent pill with an absence of color of all things the space, unaltered, no, even diminished by brightness that was actually light. You're terrified. Or, is this right? Why take any of, cause how little matter. Do colors occur anyway, don't exist, it just affects them with thoughts and words, and even when someone asked who slash why, I'm just here looking, trying, figuring each direction, which really will never know what answer is. Might possess only space slash time. For answers, there that keep rolling. Yes. Tension leaves as swiftly was tense. There were no reasons. 'Cause you took nothing. If anything, a world free of rules and no structure doesn't want no need exist except in spirit land, which might include one's heart and soul, maybe somehow, despite how obvious as a lie, so there know me. But we're all left. This fact also matters. Sue's only 47% sure I'm real. I'm real. Also, fuck it. Sometimes it's meaningless, like writing back here. But really, does this what I think of the phrase be truly better living here? Oh, a lavender pill, unassuming, looking very go with the flow, possibly a relaxing or sleep aid. Nice. I guess I could try one. Should that first result in feeling bad. Wait quickly. Albeit I haven't. Honestly, I'm still tired. What for there here, if nothing I could hold again? Someone other than. Not this time. I'm alone to do so. Plus I had a life in my case a daddy was. What really? You. Oh. You know me again there, please. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'd just choose that life again anyway. With anyone. Your however comes or whatever makes them vex, my dear, so soft or kind as yours do in. Glad I'm left. Your soul is already spinning, not used to feeling this muchness, even it's always here, no matter in memory. What feels this, it's gonna be so fun today, who will? Although did yes, did start, no, I would did start, no, I've knife, I even you. Yes, unto others, no, you tried on that were different, cause it they tried the same for you. Here is a pill like the pole in front of a barber's shop, a pill for lucid dreaming, and you are half delirious and even at such a high risk of destruction. Where will either of your soul find land? I don't have time nor mind to worry. Maybe it's fine to let whatever come. You will be right there in orbit. For certain moments on Xander's side, please. Wait. I want both sides, same person equally. Someone you really hope would not cross that way, even like you never will. Oh, gee, he probably hates what this says about me. He have my place he can't hate. They'll call people later. Wait, one boo, two, McBarry. An Arabic wired tambourine sounds tasty as an hour too much. I've eaten enough of whatever meals slash lunch now. Dinner, oh shit, have I forgot lunch? It's 32 degrees outside and will easily rise from its southern flashfuls of midday, midnight as my memory has taken to keep these thoughts instead. One of sound and not crossing is. That can't happen, you dumb wow what? It'd be hard seeing him. A red pill with silver fur swirl patterns. Oi! Style. Doctors use. And a lime bright pill with turquoise and a touch of crimson, whose reflection in itself was deeper still. Your breath pauses as you lean in for a better look. Why must everything always need be something far more than an object or an action without reason save do and be? Know what else? If no answer exists, Yes, you'll sleep 1,000 nights before your day next dawn. Is that fair? He'll have more sleep in all that time. Can't wait though. Would I too? Why not? Oh, hey, a grey one. These always turn out not funny, lol. Sander was being possessed by Jesus, apparently, and that kinda explains. Wait, no, oh, face. What is this? Did he want die so needed stay so would forget whatever wanted find himself leaving him in? Does this mean his soul just be restarted off? I meant for that can, or if nothing else, now might even. A pinkish pill of dust. Yes, you are a good kid. Thanks. Take care. This reminds you of some old poem. On the bright side, if it's weird or stupid, you should tell me to. You f off that I'm drunk and can't tell the difference, huh? No, really. Seriously, this could benefit two people, even though no one knew of its existence, or did not until now. It isn't bad yet. Would take out on Jaspro, also bad enough. And then at point I hope too soon to have missed you all those lonely nights after. Well, that's just silly. The words read. Come morning, sweet dream, my weary, oh dear friends, have no reason nor way of foreseeing, but here is where we shall meet each one, though all could guess, should end likewise. See if he slash his mother, what might ensue and watch. Talk how things change around them, every two and more, if need with me by so I wouldn't miss. What an odd set of messages, lol. You had a dull kiss, the light becomes blinding but pleasant, shining onto your body. For another split moment, nothing at all except the pill disintegrates under pressure exerted as it shatters internally from internal pressure. You had touched nothing that wasn't solid. Maybe. Wait. You pause. Realize breathing has stopped until swallowed.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. This time with fresh coffee. We'll do one, two. Okay. We'll start with Dr. Seuss. Same dip. Okay. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Dr. Seuss. Okay, now we're gonna we'll take that. We're not gonna repeat the scenario because you already know it. Bye now.
Your local conspiracy theorist has stepped out of his bungalow for his annual trip to the market for the annual cold cuts and recharge of his calling cards and the purchase of new burner phone, when suddenly he slipped and out of his jacket pocket a bottle of his every color pills fall to the floor and shattered. All manner of pills, every color imaginable, every type of awakening now lay before you. You wonder where each of them will take you. Here's a red pill, the go-to for basic acknowledgement that the world is a prison planet. The first kick in the pants to a lifelong quest to dig ever deeper for truths. Here's a blue pill to lull the ill-prepared back into their late neo-capitalist days. Or it's NyQuil, same diff. Style. Dr. Seuss. It's time to get pill-pilled. Ooh, look at that peach one. A rare, precious fruit. Take the grape one for some purple-pilled reality. There's some black ones. I wonder what's inside. And looky, green ones. A rarity these days. A cold one. Here, I found a clear one. Is this glass or crystal? Oh, and now we have orange pill. I think we should take the red ones again. You know how much I hate white. Look at this brown pill. I wonder what makes it tick. There's even some yellow and gray ones, too. And then there's those rainbow pills. But don't be fooled. Those things will take you to the end of the
You're being a little
rainbow
literal.
and back. But don't take the white ones. White is the worst. No, you can't take any of those white ones. Here's a white one, though I doubt you can take it. But you won't anyway, because this white pill is a special one. You will take the special white one to be able to see beyond this realm. But once you take it, you may never return, and once you leave, I may not be here when you do come back, and you will understand then what I meant about white. I'm sorry for my paranoia, but once you know, you just can't go back. And I am sure that is not what you want. I do want to keep you, even if it's just as my own white prisoner.
What?
Take the green pill. I hate white. A note from FK and Mernon. A few things of interest. 1LM13B is an acronym that means non-aligned influence LM13B. To the 13B stands for blank or blank check with 13 bilograms of lead. 13 bilograms being the exact weight of an unborn human fetus. Penchant is an extremely obscure word which literally translates to a pen's ability to ink a piece of paper. This was a fun bit, but I may just go the standard 8 chapters, or 5,000 words, whichever comes first to move it along, as this isn't going to be a massive story, just a quick one of about 10K words max.
A piece of New Yorker.
5, and most importantly, I got a lot of nice things last week, so thank you all. And as much as I wanted to go in a different direction for my birthday present, I used Dodge Neon. I just couldn't refuse this one. A box of condoms for the love of all that is unholy. As usual, comments and criticisms are welcome and appreciated. I love getting both. Interlude Roman 3. It was a slow night. I'm sure that somewhere there's a story to tell about a cop that has a quiet moment during the most chaotic events. But here, right now, nothing. And that meant I had plenty of time to think. I'd been doing some research on these guys we were after, but so far I'd gotten zilch. The first one I'd seen at the club was pretty tall, if I had to guess. He was about my height, but probably weighed half as much, if not less. So he was slim, and his face was narrow, but other than that I wasn't sure about any other characteristics. I decided to use that time and focus instead on trying to find something else out about them. What were they doing here, for example? And why were they looking for that girl and her boyfriend? There was also the mysterious caller. What did they want with her, and where did it lead them? I decided it might be a good idea to pay a visit to her place later on tonight, see if anything stood out. I just hoped no one would be home. But I didn't have much time to consider it, as a sudden scream pierced through the air, and a gunshot rang out from inside an abandoned warehouse across the street from me. I turned to my partner and nodded towards the building. We exited our patrol car quickly, guns drawn, heading toward the scene. Another gunshot echoed in the alley, followed by several more. Shit. We made our way carefully up a darkened stairway to the upper floor, pausing every so often to listen to make sure no one was sneaking up behind us. We finally reached the top landing, finding 2 doors open before us, both dark inside. For some reason, I realized that those boxes of condoms were a variety pack. I opened it up to look at all the types. Lubricated, ultra-thin, ribbed for pleasure, strawberry flavored, extra large, and a special tiger stripe variant for the animal lovers out there. But wait, the box was empty? Damn. Did she open the box right when I bought it? That girl was always horny, but it was only like that the first few
That was a
months
gift.
when you're newlywed and everything feels so fresh and exciting. Then there was that oh fuck, we got married so fast we barely knew each other phase, where the reality of it all started to. Is this a condom of antisequin? I held the little thing up and looked at it. It had tiny bits of reflective glitter embedded all over it. Oh, hell yes. This was exactly what I wanted. I slipped it in my pocket and continued to explore the building. In the third room, I found a man lying face down on the floor,
Way to
his
gather
blood
me.
spattered on the wall above him. I knelt and inspected the bullet hole in his chest, then reached up to remove a wallet from his pants. The identification card with an identified him as William H. Wilson. I read the information out loud, but my partner couldn't hear me over the noise of the fight in the other room. I put my gun back in my holster and rushed past a window where I could see a dozen more men fighting each other. The two in the front must be the cops, and they seemed to be holding their own, but I needed to hurry. I turned the corner, following the trail of dead bodies until I reached another large room. Three figures dressed entirely in black leather and wearing motorcycle helmets with mirrored visors stood around a metal. Well, look at that. His wallet had a condom too. A weird one. One with a little tail at the end, which I guess was to help keep it on, although I don't see how that was supposed to work. I put it back in the pocket and continued onward, through a long hallway and down the stairs. The two bodies I saw were also wearing helmets and leather, and they lay lifeless against a wall. I approached them carefully. As soon as I entered the room, gunshots began to fly all around. A voice cried out, "Die, you evil bastards." It sounded like a kid. I ran forward as fast as I could, ducking low, firing my gun twice into the shadows at the end of the corridor, trying desperately to find something to hold onto or someone to hide behind. A second later, more gunfire came from behind me. Bullets pinged off the walls all around us. There were bodies everywhere. I took cover behind an upturned table, peeking over the edge, firing blindly at any target that presented itself. The condom boxes was the property of a wild inventor, each one WS unique, and had a unique function in non-sexual situations. There was one for removing splinters, one for keeping things warm but not hot, one that could turn anything white, one that made everything smell like bacon, one that removed all dirt from a person's skin, one that changed the color of hair, one that acted as a mirror when placed on someone's forehead, one that would turn invisible once taken out of the box, and several that made a noise like a police siren when used in case there were cops in the area. I was almost at the next floor down, and so far, there were no more bodies. But I kept moving and shooting all the same. There were only two bodies lying on the floor by this point. I crept over to them and kicked them quickly to check for signs of life. The last body was wearing an old-style leather jacket that covered most of his body, and he was still warm. He also wore a gas mask that seemed to have no ventilation. As I turned him over, I saw the name tag on his chest. Danny Fenton. That made sense. Danny Phantom was probably wearing a full-face motorcycle helmet too. I used the rest of the condoms as body bags for the corpses, saving a few in my pockets for future use, in case I found a place to store them for later. Danny was dead. I knelt to examine him and see if maybe there was something in his pockets I could use, when suddenly two hands grabbed me from behind and shoved me onto my ass. It was my partner. I hadn't seen or heard from her since the first floor. Shit, she yelled. I was trying to shoot those fuckers, but I missed. She sounded angry and frustrated, but it didn't make sense why she'd grab me like that. And then I realized she was jealous. She wanted me for herself,
Oh, God.
just like that time when we were teenagers and she kissed me after the homecoming dance.
We should be
That
partners.
night was amazing, and now all the memories flooded back into my mind. How she would come over to my house when we were young and sleep over. How I'd hold her close to me, our bodies pressed together so tightly. How I loved her so much but couldn't tell her. How sometimes I dream about holding her again, but never knew if it had ever happened. But now, I wasn't sure whether or not it'd work out between us. My wife probably wouldn't like it. She always knew that something was going on between the two of us, and now I was starting to question whether I should keep sleeping with my partner or not. There was definitely something there, a spark that needed to be ignited. The commissioner called us to the office the next day. What happened out there? He demanded. We looked at each other. How should we explain this? He shook his head. Whatever. I don't even care right now. Get some rest. The press is already sniffing around and I need you both sharp. Tomorrow morning at 0800, report to headquarters for debrief. If it's not too much to ask, go out and find some decent fucking coffee before you come in. And with that, he slammed his desk drawer and left the office. And wiped the smell of sex off of you both. He left, slamming the door shut behind him. We sat quietly in our chairs, staring straight ahead, wondering what we did wrong. So, I said, breaking the silence, how'd your night go? She turned to face me. Her eyes were filled with tears. She wiped them away and nodded. We spent the rest of the afternoon talking about everything and nothing at all while waiting for the commissioner to return. Eventually, he did, looking tired and irritated. He had a stack of papers under his arm, which he dropped on my desk. Good thing he didn't know about the sex we had on his desk. I wonder if he has surveillance cameras in his office. Probably not. But still, if he did catch us, what would he do? Fire me. I doubt it, since he needs all the detectives he can get, especially since everyone else quit recently. So what's he going to do? Tell me not to do it anymore? Not really something I can stop when we've already started. And it's not like I'll be having sex on his desk again anyway. That one time was just a spur of the moment thing. All right, I have a condom that renders surveillance devices useless due to its reflective nature. I reached down my pants and pulled out the anti-sequin condom and threw it in the trash can. Hopefully he wouldn't notice. After he left, we stayed behind and talked some more until our shift ended at midnight. Hey, she said, standing up. Do you want to go grab something to eat? Sure, I replied. Let's get some fast food. We ended up eating burgers at a local McDonald's. It was a pretty good meal. Ooh, there's an In-N-Out. We ate there once before. It's pretty good too. Maybe next time we could try some Korean BBQ or even sushi. Sushi. Now that I think about it, there was a fish that looked like my partner. Salmon. I wonder, if she was a salmon, would that mean I'm the salmon guy? Wait, wouldn't that also mean I'm a fish? What does that make me then? A guy fish? A guy salmon? A man sushi? After dinner, she wanted to watch movies. I suggested Netflix, and we ended up spending most of the evening searching for something good to watch. We stumbled across an old 80s film about a small town sheriff who goes undercover to investigate a murder. We watched as he tries to fit in with the locals by pretending to be gay and wearing a rainbow bracelet. There are lots of references to gay sex throughout the movie. I was starting to regret my choice in films. started thinking about how different things would be if I hadn't gotten married. We ended up with some anime on Roku, something called Magical Shopping Mall of Orcish Maids. It had a weird art style and some oddball humor, but it kept us entertained until morning, when I woke up in my bed with my wife asleep beside me. I got up quietly so as not to wake her, grabbed my uniform from the closet, and went downstairs. I made some coffee and drank it while watching TV. It was only an hour later that she came downstairs herself, yawning loudly as she shuffled over to sit next to me. After the fourth or fifth episode of the anime, I decided it was time to go to work. She came along as well, and we stopped off at a diner for breakfast first before heading into the station. We arrived just as the commissioner came down from his office, looking grumpy again. He looked us both up and down, frowning slightly, then turned his attention back to whatever he'd been doing before we interrupted him. Go ahead, go do your job. And we did, walking towards the break room. My wife joined us for the press conference, which was a bit awkward. The reporters had no questions regarding anything besides the deaths of Danny Fountain and Jack Fenton, and if either one of them might have been involved somehow. The reporters began asking other questions about whether or not the police department was taking the matter seriously enough, which wasn't true, because they never gave us any clues about who killed them and why. But they wanted us to tell the public that we were doing everything we could do. After a few hours of answering the same questions over and over, we left. We're not fucking, I exclaimed. No one had asked, but just in case. Note from FK and Mernon. When yes, all of these condoms are based on ones I have or have had. No, I'm not a slut. I just like variety. Yes, all these condom things would be awesome. But then what is sex without the risk? Two, and that's how I became the salmon guy. Here's one of my favorite things from a book I read recently, The Last Days of Night by Graham Moore. 3, what's a salmon guy? Oh my goodness, you guys. It's someone that hangs out at an aquarium or at a place where a bunch of salmon get together. And then when the salmon leaves, so does he. Hence, salmon guy. For I'll probably change the chapter titles to match each week's condoms from now on. 5, as usual, comments and criticisms are welcome and appreciated. 6, thank you all so much for the comments and ratings. 7, never use anti-sequin condoms. They're sharp. I don't know why they manufacture them, but then that would be a great marketing point to convince women that they want condoms with sequins on them, and it's always best to have sequin when you're doing the deed. A lot of this story was inspired by the excellent Sword of Iron Book of Mutilation by Anglin, a free short story less than 100 pages long, which is available here. Smash words /book /e /3 Nine, that's not me. That's an old friend that I haven't seen in a while, but he is awesome. He's probably dead by now, so he has nothing to do with this story. I just thought it would be cool to write about an old friend and have him meet another old friend. That's all. Chapter V. I left my wife at home and made my way towards the girl's apartment. There were only 2 cars parked near her building, a white van and an old red Honda Civic. I knew that Honda Civic from anywhere. My nemesis. I took my spiked condom and wrapped it around one of its tires, just in case. I proceeded up to the girl's apartment. The door was locked, so I used my police training to pick it open. I entered and looked around. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, except for one thing. The girl's room smelled of fish.
Okay.
The smell reminded me of the time when I was 7, when
Reader
I ate
feedback
some
already?
bad sushi at the local Japanese restaurant and got sick for a week. I didn't think anything could be worse than that experience. But here I was. I walked further into the room, trying not to vomit. I saw a pile of dirty clothes on the floor beside her bed.
Oh Lord, Door.
Whoa, reader feedback already? Oh, I didn't realize that was a misogynistic paragraph. No wonder she smells like
Lord.
fish. All right, new paragraph. You get a second chance.
No,
My friend,
no,
the
no,
girl's room
no.
smelled of fish. I stepped past the pile of dirty laundry, which smelled of her perfume and shampoo and conditioner and body spray, all mingling into one disgusting odor, and moved onto something else, something equally odorous, the source of which I was unable to identify due to being unable to smell. And so we come to the girl herself. She lay on top of the covers, her limbs tangled together with the sheets beneath her. Reader Anonymous. Dude, get rid of the fish. It was once charming when the smell wasn't here, but now it is so juvenile. Get over yourself. Well, damn. Reader, I didn't expect you to read this and then just jump to conclusions. But hey, that's your prerogative. So, okay, no fish. Just make it vague again. The smell is vague.
What the fuck?
She lay on top of the covers.
All right,
her
we're
limbs
done.
tangled together with the sheets beneath her, on her stomach, with her feet sticking straight out behind her and her knees slightly bent and pointing outward. She had dark purple hair. She was dressed in black lace panties and a bra. The Richard closed the book in unison. Nope. Okay, let's try again.
Nope.
The readership hasn't returned. That's okay. They're entitled to their opinions. This is my story, not theirs. I am the writer of this. The storyteller, but they can think what they want. I looked around the room and found nothing out of place. Then I noticed an open window above the bed, through which I could see a tree and a park beyond. I moved to the window and peered outside. I could see two men standing in the middle of the field arguing about something. I could smell their nuts from here. Corn nuts, original flavor. They reeked with it like it were their only foodstuff. I couldn't be sure whether they were talking to each other or not because of all the noise that was coming from the street below us, but I figured it must have been a serious discussion. I turned and walked back into the bedroom. I checked underneath the bed and found nothing except dust bunnies. I went to her closet and searched through her clothes, finding only skirts, shirts, dresses, blouses, and jeans. I checked her dresser, drawers, jewelry box, shoe rack, nightstand, desk, bookshelves. The reader should pretend upon the mention of cornups. The cornups were their god. They demanded a sacrifice. Nothing. No clues about her past, or her plans, or where she might be now, and none of them seemed relevant. Maybe I should check the bathroom. Yes, I shall go there next. But first, let's look at some options available to me. Option 1. Continue searching the apartment and hope I stumble upon something that will help me find her. Option 2. Leave and go back home to my wife and family. Option 3. End the broadcast day. None of these are very appealing to me at all, especially not option 3. But I don't know where to start if I don't try every possibility, so I guess I'll go ahead and begin. Option 1. Continue searching the apartment and hope I stumble upon something that will help me find her. Option 2. Leave and go back home to my wife and family. Option 3. End the broadcast day. This was one of the hardest choices in the entire game because each one made perfect sense to me at the time.
Alright. We went off the rails there. That's okay.